Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with match number 2 with our Enchantments. Mardu Enchantments says we'll keep this. This is an okay hand. We do need another white source. We have our Singleton black source, a Bloodstained Mire. And it's going to be a green aggro deck. So we need to draw into some Silk Wraps as soon as possible. Smoldering Marsh was like the last card I wanted to see. I think what he's put into play tapped. That way, once we find the other white sources, we can cast everything we need. We still do have a turn 3 play with the Monastery Mentor. But the Hierarch's going to give us a bit of an issue. Now I can ramp into something on the next turn. So best case scenario, I could draw into a Silk Wrap here. Or a Plains. Perfect. So we get the Plains. Or the Battlefield Forge. And then we have the Mentor into a Stasis Snare. We also have Quarantine Field after that. We need Mentor to stick around for a turn to get value. See if a Gideon comes out here. Just a Managorger Hydra, which is actually a pretty good card if we didn't have Stasis Snare. So we'll go ahead and throw out the Swamp. And go Monster Mentor. That is most likely going to get commanded. But at least we can, if it doesn't get commanded, we can have a game plan. And if he does go the command, at least we get that out of the way for the Stasis Snare. Hardened Scales. Might actually just trade here with the Hierarch. No, we'll let it go through. Taking 5. Wild Call. Manifest top card of the library, and it becomes huge. So we still have to take care of... Oh, good night. We have to take care of the Managorger Hydra first. I don't think I Citadel Siege. I'm still just so vulnerable to command. Maybe I do. Citadel Siege named Cons or Dragons. Puts out a 1/1 blocker that we can eat up. And we can tap down the Managorger indefinitely. But if he has the command, we just lose. I think if he has the command, we just lose either way. So I actually would like to use as much mana as possible. So his Managorger is now huge. We can at least tap it down by naming Dragons. We're just going to have to be lucky that it doesn't have a Dromoka's command. He would have used it last turn though, right? Tap it down. Chump block on the manifested guy. And go down to a 9. Don't you love this new MTG bug that's trying to tell you can't block? It's lovely. So be careful with your F6ing and things like that. It is really annoying. And now he's got another Wild Call for a ton. Helm of the Gods is nice. Allows us to Stasis Snare still. So we still need another... Huh. That's actually pretty good. So we can go Smoldering Marsh or Battlefield Forge. I don't think it matters at this point, because we're going to use both our white. We'll have a Stasis Snare for next turn. So Helm of the Gods. We'll equip it to the Mentor. And then we have the Stasis Snare up. So we still have to avoid that command. Abzan Falconer. Do I just die here? Because each creature gains flying, and there's no. Now I just have to Stasis Snare that. Get another monk. Pumps up one of our monks too. Get the Falconer. And we'll just block and go down to a 3. Outpost Siege is nice, but at this point, it's going to be Quarantine Field. We have to take another life. Get rid of his... Most likely just his 7/7 is Mana Gorger Hydra, I think is fine. So we're down to a 2. Got some more monks. Or got another monk at least. Got a bigger Mentor. And get rid of these guys. And now we have pretty decent game plan. I don't think I attack in. I think we just continue to leave back. Feat of Resistance will do it, right? That was a great draw by him. I think we had him stabilized. Because there's nothing I can do for white. And that's game. Alrighty. Yep, Feat of Resistance. Womp womp. Let's see here. Radiant Flames I think is fine. It will clear a lot of his board. I don't know. Yeah, it's still fine. And Crackling Doom is also pretty good versus him. Suspension Field's wonderful. Molten Vortex is okay. It gets rid of like Abzan. Falconer's not quite. So we can actually use Transgress to get rid of those, but I don't think it's necessary. Outpost Siege is necessary in this. Sigil's fine. If he's running those Valor stances, I'm not even sure if Butchers are going to be the right play in this one. Butcher, though, does... I don't know. Butcher seems alright. Maybe Sigiled Empty Thrones is unnecessary. Again, it's something that has some renewable. I'm really going to go out on the limb here and think that Butcher is the bad card. And Outpost Siege, we can go down to a 2 of them. I think this is fine. Makes Retreat to Mary a lot worse. He's got a lot of like trample guys that we need to take care of. So maybe Butcher is just better. I just don't want something to die to Valorous Stance. I think this is fine. Very keepable hand. We had the Radiant Flames. Stasis Snare. Suspension Field. Mentor. I'm sure he's got Hangerback Walkers in here. They can be easily suspension fielded. And we need to find a black source for the Radiant Flames. And there it is. Beautiful. We'll mentor. Mentor gives us a blocker versus the Hierarch. And if you want to use a Feat of Resistance, go for it. Yep, that's fine with me. That card actually seems to be a more problematic card. I'm worried about Dromoka's Command. Kind of just want to Radiant Flames and clear his board. Or we could keep up a Stasis Snare for his Honored Hierarch. And then we have some Dromoka's Command. Padding, because if he kills, he just gets back a Hierarch, which I don't think we care too much about. So Stasis Snare. Get rid of his Hierarch. Unless he's got another Feat of Resistance. He does not. And now we can safely put out the Outpost Siege, or we can just get rid of... No, Suspension Field can take care of that guy. So Hardened scales. Into a Free Blade. And I do get hit by 5, which does hurt. But I'm hoping that I can just survive this assault. I do need to use both Radiant Flames and Suspension Field, I think. Depends on what we find off the top here with the Outpost Siege. Yeah, Citadel Siege is better. So we will Suspension Field. On the Mana Gorger. Hydra, and then I don't think I quite need a Radiant Flames. And we'll Citadel Siege, naming dragons. And now we've got him pretty well locked down here. We can tap down the Free Blade. Looks like he's going to wild call for 1. And hopefully this Outpost Siege can continue to find us advantage. I don't even know if I want a Starfield of Nyx at this point. Yeah. I think I have to just Radiant Flames. And pass the turn. Eventually this guy's going to draw lands. There's the Falconer. We'll tap down his Manifest guy. And hopefully find something that can get rid of his Manifest. We'll see. So, Outpost Siege will find us another card. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And, yeah. We could actually activate the Shambling Vent and only be up one, net up one, though. So we'll pass the turn. So now he needs to Outlast right now if he's going to do it. Otherwise, I tap it down. All right, it gets tapped down. It's another wonderful card. We'll play it. So retreat. And pass the turn. Get the Manticore tapped down. The Feeder Resistance is going to be an issue for us. We need to find an answer for the Mana Gorger. We'll activate the Shambling Vent here. And hopefully get another card out of his hand. So stupid, the block bug. This will gain us some life, much needed life. Now the bad news is he's got a handful of cards. Feeder Resistance, that is so awesome though. He needs to just wait till his Mana Gorger Hydra. Now he can't protect it. It does have flying now. But we should find some board wipes here. Or not. Ay, ay, ay. And our opponent might draw land, like eventually. He might be okay with lands at this point, though. Yeah, because look how lethal the Mana Gorger is going to get with all the feats. He might actually even still have another feat, though, is the problem. But are we close to lethal just by casting the Starfield and swinging in? 3, 4, so that's 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 4 is 13, plus another 4. I think it's just lethal next turn unless he's got something crazy in his hand. And actually, I should have done that the other way around. Ah! That was bad of me. I should have Starfielded and give them all +1/+1. Ah! Pay attention, Kevin. Pay attention. I think I will Starfield. That way we can still activate. Let's tap some of these. Ones will do damage. We need a black, a white source. We don't need a red source for anything at the moment. And I think these two are fine to tap. Yeah. We'll Starfield. And then do we have an angel a flyer that, no, we do not have an angel. So equip the helm on the ally. And I guess just go into attacks and call it good. See if he has another feat of resistance. He'll have to use it here, though. I don't know why he'd block the Starfield to take a bunch of damage. Is he just isn't that just lethal, though? He's got a command to kill the Citadel. But still takes a lot. He's still going to take 7, 11, 12, 13, 17. Still takes 20 because he blocked incorrectly. Yeah. If you'd have blocked the other way around, though, we've been in trouble. Gosh. Valor's stances are a threat. That was rough for us, though, because he didn't draw a land there. Ever. He just kept... I think sigils are actually pretty good in this one. I'm not sure. Outpost Siege definitely was a really good card. Is Radiant Flames just not that great when he gets a Hardened Scales out? Doom still seems fine. Mentor still seems great. The Silk Wrap's Ascension Fields are always going to stick in here. We still like the Citadel Siege, still like the Starfield as a one of. Sigil Empty Throne is Sigil is probably the weak link. We'll submit this. Feat of Resistance is brutal for us, though, the Pro White. Still haven't seen a Dromoka's Command. They've got to be in the deck. They're a very good card against us if we can't get it out before the Wasteland Strangler gets rid of the card underneath something. Or just throwing it on the Hangerback Walker, or even Mana Gorger Hydra is not that bad when it's huge. You have to reset the Mana Gorger. And his key card is Hardened Scales. If he doesn't have the Hardened Scales, his deck is a lot weaker. Very good hand. We'll keep it. It has everything we need. Our opponent does have to mulligan to 6. He's had the Hardened Scales late every game though, but he's had them. And puts the not even showing me where he's puts a card on top of his library, so he likes the card in the chat bar. So we'll go Smoldering Marsh is fine. We still need that double white, but we have Crackling Dooms. Crackling Dooms should shut his deck down quite well against the big dudes. And there's no way to really protect that. Double Hierarch, which the Radiant Flames are going to be really good against. So Shambling Vent's fine. Now that gives us our double white. Hardened Scales doesn't quite give the Hierarchs the ability to survive. He can feat and one of them can live. But I'm okay with that because it'll be another 1-for-1 card when we Crackling Doom. Best case scenario is you just cast another card, like Hangerback Walker for 1. Oh yeah, he's going to be blown out by this Radiant Flames. So white, black, red, Radiant Flames. And we'll pass the turn. We have the Mentor. That was huge, a 3-for-1 wipe. Manticore Hydra I'm not too worried about. If Undergrowth Champion I'm also not worried about. I think that we do just get out the Mentor. Or do we want to make sure we get immediate value out of the Mentor and be able to cast something? I think Crackling Doom's actually the best play here. Undergrowth seems like it's a rough card for us to deal with. We also Stasis Snare to get that feat out of the way. I think that's actually the better play. So let's try to get this Feat of Resistance. And only take 3 damage. And then we can Crackling Doom. And now we have protection from a Dromoka's Command because we can just sack the Stasis Snare. There's the Crackling Doom. I'll have to sack the Undergrowth. And a Wild Call for 1, which is a 3/3. So, depends on what we draw here. I think I'll Quarantine Field it. And because that gives us a way for Wasteland Strangler. We'll go get a basic Mountain. And cast the Helm. Maybe I should have waited for the Mentor to get some value out of it. Not quite sure. Managorge or Hydra. We'll be able to kill it with the Wasteland. And hook up a Helm. Now we have a 5/4 Wasteland with a Crackling Doom and a Monastery Mentor. So he's going to be able to Silk Wrap it. I don't care. It did its job. That's better than a Mentor getting Silk Wrapped. So we'll Mentor. And instead of hooking up the Helm of the Gods, we'll pass, because if he plays a Crackling Doom, or plays a creature, we can just Crackling Doom in a turn. Maybe I should have tapped my land so it didn't do a damage to me too. There's the Free Blade. And we'll Crackling Doom. And yeah, we can Emeria here. Whoops! Should have equipped the Helm. Playing a little bit quickly here. It would have been an extra 3 damage. But I don't think it matters. I think it's lethal next turn with the land. He could have another Feat of Resistance in his hand. But here we'll Silk Wrap. And he's going to Feat. And we'll give him +1/+1. And then I should have activated first. Jeez, throw the Helm on one of these guys and then activate white, and he concedes. Not too shabby. It shut down the deck how it should with the amount of Silk Wraps, and it's going to be very hard for him. I mean, Feats can counter that kind of stuff, but it's still proactive. An aggro deck a lot of times doesn't want to be holding up mana to try to Feat something. And even just trading with the Feat of the Resistance gives us that protection from Jamoke's Command. We'll go on to the next match. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.